so much for coming today. It's really a pleasure to be with all of you and to share this film. The first film that you're going to see today is called Drawn from Life. And it is a film that we made to celebrate Flo's 85th birthday. So it hasn't been seen in a while, and it's kind of fun to look back. I'm gonna say that it was a special occasion because there was this project that Flo had told us was going to get underway, and that was the mural that she worked on with Desi Mundo, Desi over here and Roy Chan. And so we started that project with a plan that we would document the course of that project. But what happened was government slow progress actually made the mural not complete when we thought it would be. So the film ended up being a little bit different than what we originally planned, but I hope that you will enjoy it nonetheless. So with that.
It's an open Chinatown. It's a privilege to have been born here and to have been raised here. And I still have many, many friends in open Chinatown. And if I don't know anybody, because I speak 3 different dialects, I just hope and say hello. And and it's really wonderful. And when I was growing up in open Chinatown, our parents said, when you leave the restaurant, whoever you see on the street, you have to say, hello, local, whatever. And so I went to the grocery stores where the mothers were really nice, and I spent time with them. And then my mother would send one of my sisters after me, and of course I hung my head down in shame, and I went back and I worked again. Under a moonlit sky, my siblings and I traveled to China for a visit to our ancestral village, Gunduhang, where our 3 older sisters were born. Arriving in the small hamlet, I see for the first time, the pond in front of crumbling adobe houses. The water buffalo immersed in the cool water, swayed in monsoon-flooded fields. Howling winds swept into Baba's ancient abode that could no longer house them. After coming to our new country, my Baba and Mama resided in a house of fiery daughters until they birthed a son.
Yeah, we saw such a great body of work in both of those films. And I'm wondering, is there a pivotal piece that you'd like to sort of talk about that sort of changed and elevated you in a different way?
I would have to say it's the piece of my father's shooting. We kept it a secret in our family for 50 years. And we could talk about it at home, but when we were outside of our house, we couldn't say anything. My father was very unusual. He believed in the education of women. My mother was exactly the opposite. She wanted us to just stay home, get a job. But no, first of all, buy a building in old Chinatown.
I think you knew nobody was going to preserve your stories. You had to do it yourself. I think that was the big lesson for me, is that thank goodness she did. Thank goodness that Ed was so good about keeping the slide archives and the video archives, because if not for that, we wouldn't be able to see any of this. And so I think that it was the big takeaway for me, is that it was kind of a marvel to be able to encounter a full career. Even though you say you started making art at the age of 40, it's still a 40-year period of somebody's artistic creative journey. And that's really rare to find.
And also, I don't have a degree in art. My degree is in English. I just decided that, okay, in my late 30s, I'll go to the junior college nearby. I'll take art classes and call myself an artist.
Can I add that?
Yeah.
So I would like to add that because Flo is what you would call an outsider to the educational process, there was nothing that she felt like she couldn't do. So if she wanted to make a work, you know, she would just go make it. She wouldn't ask anybody for an assignment, and she would just do it. And I think that for that reason, the art is really interesting. It's not like nowadays, everybody is always concerned about branding. Like, you know, are you an artist that people will recognize your work? Well, Flo was very different. It was like, what do I want to know? What am I curious about? And that the art making is a process to discovery.